All right, what's going on, everyone? Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Good to see everybody, and I wanted to flip this thing on everyone this week. Uh, I know we as reviewers, we do all the talking, and we never ask enough questions of you guys. And I figured tonight would be one of those nights where let's see what you guys have all been kind of sipping on, and I mean, I think in fairness, it's fun to kind of get all that stuff, figure out what it is you guys have been drinking, and just see what it is. Kind of have a little conversation about some of those things, and kind of go from there. So, all right, let me real quick. Let me get everybody who is in the chat tonight. So I know it's going back a little bit, not that far, but Sean Denton. If I miss you, I apologize. I'm sure I'll see you at some point. RVA Whiskey, how's it going, buddy? Appreciate everyone jumping in here tonight. Sugar Kitty, Sean Dent, how's it going, bud? Christopher David, my man. What we got? There's a lot of stuff going on there. KM Lochner, how's it going? Young Pei Chang, thanks for jumping in, buddy. Appreciate it as always. The Bourbon Wrench, Trev, how's it going, my man? KM Lochner. Who else we got? Gary Franchi. Gary, how's it going? Alex Bruyere, how's it going? My brother from the north. Good old Canadian. John T. Richie Z, how's it going, brother? Glad you could jump in. Karen B. Ford, how's it going, Karen? John T. Matt Junick, how's it going, Matty? Will Hendo. The Brazier. Well, I got a bunch of blue wrenches in here right now. So, Roy R. does things. Roy, how's it going, buddy? All right, so let's do this. So yeah, tonight was just kind of a fun one. So I wanted to kind of have a good time tonight and just kind of get from you guys, what it is that you've been kind of sipping on and kind of enjoying and all of that. So, I mean, it's important to, to kind of get all that stuff from you guys. So what's up, Big Sexy? How's it going, brother? So yeah, Wags, how's it going? So yeah, I mean, I guess this is one of those things. Adriana, Whiskey Mountains, how are you tonight, ma'am? So yeah, so I think, again, this is one of those deals where, again, we share with you guys all the time what it is, obviously, that we're drinking and reviewing and all of those things. So I wanted to hear from a lot of you as to, really what some of the things you've been sipping on, what you've been enjoying, all of that. So, and I have to also mention last Wednesday when I was on the bourbon on Jason's channel. Yeah, clearly I had a couple too many pours. That Four Roses single barrel I had was really going down pretty easily. So, and that kind of caught up to me. But prior to even going live, I already had a couple of higher proof or higher ABV IPAs. So that kind of did me in. But anyway, so yeah, so let's see what we got here. So what's everybody? Chris Beaton, how's it going, buddy? I appreciate you jumping in. Wesley, how's it going, my man? So, all right, so let's see, what is everybody? Let me go back here a little bit. Yeah, well, I was Brazier, I did a good job of entertaining everybody last Wednesday. That's for sure. I mean, hell, Thursday night or Thursday morning, I was not feeling very good. So anyway, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sober Scott was regretting what he did on that Wednesday night last week. So, but all right, so let's hear, what are you guys drinking and why? That's the thing. So what am I drinking? I will share with you guys right now. One of my favorites that I'm kind of going through and I'm holding back a little bit on this. So I got the Discovery 4 from Bardstown Bourbon Company, and oh my God, it is one of, I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, so far in 2021, it's gotta be right up there for me as one of my top whiskeys. I mean, it's so rich and complex and all of that. The longer you kind of sip on it, the more that this thing opens up and just gets really, really good. So if for some reason you haven't had or you're able to get the Discovery 4 from Bardstown Bourbon Company, I would highly recommend it. I mean, it fits kind of my profile in terms of what I like. It's got great ages, 10, 13, and 15-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys. So already great ages there. And here's another thing. So we've kind of confirmed or talked to some of the guys at Bardstown. And unfortunately, as we all know, a lot of these, higher aged bourbons, they're going away. So what a lot of these companies are able to either buy and or then blend, they're not going to have all of these things that much longer to work with. I mean, that stock is very, very quickly going away. And even talking outside of Bardstown Bourbon Company, talking with other people, these older stocks are definitely starting to go away. I know Barton's got some of the stuff, unfortunately, I know the whole Dickel thing and all of that, but I know they've got quite a bit of age stuff as well. But, that is its whole other kind of beast, the Dickel stuff. It's got its own profile, same thing with other Tennessee whiskeys. But, as far as Kentucky bourbons or even MGP stuff, there is unfortunately not that much stuff out there. So, this one here, that Discovery Series 4, I think it's got, what is that, 70? I think it was, 92% of it is made up of 13 and 15-year bourbons. So, and 8% of it is 10-year bourbon. So, or Kentucky bourbon. So, you've got great ages. They did a fantastic job with that blend. So if for some reason you're able to find that, I would highly, highly recommend it. So, all right, let's take a look at what's going on in the chat. Can't go wrong with this. Always a fan of the Four Roses Barrel Proof. It got me in trouble last Wednesday. That's for sure. So, what else we got here? Yeah, these Bardstown, I'll tell you, they are okay. All right. So good to know. So coming in June. So I can only imagine what that's probably going to be. If they're using some of the Roy, if they're using some of the older stock that they've got, depending on what that blend is going to be, it'll be interesting to see if the Discovery Series 5 will contain all Kentucky whiskey. I'll be surprised. I hope that it is, that they're already not starting the transition of over to a lot of the other Tennessee whiskeys. Now the Pfeiffer Pavitt, it's basically Dickel that's finished in those whatever kind of Cabernet or some kind of wine barrel or whatever it is. But it's pretty good. I think they've done a good job of blending and finishing that, where you kind of get rid of a little bit of that Tennessee, that Dickel profile. So DNL, how's it going, my man? Glad you could jump in. So, and happy belated anniversary. I know you and Julie were celebrating like 26 years. Good on you guys. That's awesome. And still have a good relationship going. That's awesome to see. So the Waxter, how's it going, Jeffrey? Appreciate you jumping in. Harry Langdon, how's it going, buddy? Let's see what else we got here. Seeing what everyone else has got going on. So what's Young say? So to play devil's advocate, it sounds like New Riff is able to do some solid stuff at the 4-year mark. So yeah, I think what New Riff is doing, they kind of out of the gate have done a pretty good job of even their younger stuff being really solid. So New Riff is not my favorite thing, but for a lot of other people, they really enjoy it. So just had a first pour of 1792 full proof, digging it. All right. And that'll be one that I think will open up a little bit for you, Adriana, as well. So almost competes with a rare breed for me. Yeah. And I'm a big fan of the rare breed. So especially at that kind of price point. So Cheats, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? What else? Yeah. So, okay, John, this is one I've heard and seen some reviews of this, and it sounds very interesting. I wasn't crazy. Their Dovetail, I really, really enjoy. The other one that they had kind of finished in some other weird casks, I forget exactly what it was, but I wasn't as much of a fan. I think this was the one that kind of came out last, maybe September, October, something along those lines. So I don't remember exactly what that one was. Kind of had an orangish label on it, but I wasn't super crazy about that one. So what else we got here? Yeah, that seagrass has kind of seemed interesting. And that's one thing with Barrel. I mean, they are master blenders. They do a really, really good job of blending some of these whiskeys. I don't think that I know they're using a lot of, Kentucky, Indiana, MGP, and some of the Dickel stuff. And they do a pretty darn good job of, the Armida. That's what it was. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate it. And Thomas, thanks so much for becoming a new Patreon. Appreciate it, buddy. So here's one thing. Let me touch on this a little bit. So as you guys see scrolling across the bottom, we've got some stuff coming. For anybody who got in on the Rye 3, it's literally supposed to be shipping any day. Jason and I, we talked to them last week, and we were told that it could be the first part of this week in terms of when everybody should be getting the notification. So, check later tonight or tomorrow. There's a good chance that those bottles will start to be sent out for everybody who pre-ordered. And again, we talked about it. We're not doing a pre-order that's like 2 months long or longer. It's just too long for everybody to have to wait. So, all right. So here's one. I got some samples of this, the Stellum, the bourbon and the rye. All right, Will. So I got into it a little bit. Now, I was a way bigger fan of the rye. Now, the rye is just a 95.5 MGP. But man, I'll tell you, like right off of that sample bottle that they sent, man, I wasn't totally digging it. I know it's supposed to have some aged whiskey in there, but for whatever it was, or for whatever reason, it was just not coming across as that great for me. So, but hey, to each their own. If you enjoy it, that's really all that matters. So. Yeah, so Cheech, these things should be dropping like any day now. I mean, when we talked to them at the end of last week about kind of the timing of all this, they were told it sounds like that these should be that they should be coming like now. So keep your eyes open, keep looking at the email. Hopefully everybody will get their email letting them know that things have been shipped. So Thomas, no, we sold out on that. So for the future, you'll see these are just a few of the things at the bottom on that little ticker that's going across as to what it is that will be coming. So if you're not a Patreon or part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club and you want to become part of it, link in the description below to that. So it's well worth it in terms of, as far as I'm concerned, with what it is that we've got coming is some really good stuff, and also part of that. The idea is to get you guys also involved as much as we possibly can with that, so that we're, again, allowing you guys to taste what we're tasting and what we're offering to everybody, and hopefully everyone is really appreciating it. So get in on that if you're not already. It's a pretty good deal as far as I'm concerned. So. Popham, how's it going, buddy? He just did a nice review the other day of, what was that? The Old Carters. I think it was like maybe 7, 8, 9, and 10, or 8, 9, 10, something along those lines. But if you want to watch and see exactly what some of the newer releases of the Old Carter stuff, go check Troy's channel out, and Popham, don't watch him. He'll help you out with that. That's for sure. So. And Troy, I haven't forgotten about the hat. I've just been busy and a little lazy with that, so I apologize. What else we got here? I had only one of them. Only thing I ever had from them was a sample that Hendo sent to me. I think that was the Davidson Reserve. Yeah, that's the one, I think, with the greenish label, Mike, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I really, really like that. And it's again, there's a little bit of aged rye that that actually is not a too, it's pretty reasonable. I mean, I think they were like an 8-year rye or something like that, but I really enjoyed it. So, all right, what else do we have here? W. O'Neill, another patron, another newer one, I should say. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Timmy, how's it going? My brother to the south, good old Illinois. The Brazier. All right, I got to catch back up. So I apologize if I missed anything. So, yeah, okay. So Dan says 7, 8, 9, and 10 bourbons. Yeah. So, and again, I mean, I'm a huge fan of what Old Carter does. I mean, it's always something different, unique. They're passionate. I love, Mark and Sherry. They do a great job of just interacting with everybody and making them all feel, part of the family. And that's awesome. So, what do we got here? Okay, what else do we have here? I got to catch back up here. All right, I think I'm good. So that's the only problem is I trying to watch the YouTube screen and all the other the StreamYard one is always throws me off a little bit. Kevin, how's it going, buddy? Glad you could join tonight. Appreciate it. All right, so what is everybody sipping on right now? I've still got a little bit of the Discovery 4. I want to hear from someone. I got one comment on it that somebody felt on my video that someone felt it was overrated. Now, again, I don't know their how they think it's overrated, maybe because of price or whatever it was, but I'm interested to hear what people think specifically of, let's even say Discovery 3 and 4. So, but I mean, that's so far for me, people have said 3 and 4 and they were a fan of 3. I mean, I think 4 is better than 3 personally, but it's another, for me, 4 is an incredible bourbon. So I think they've done an awesome job with that. So yeah. So Thomas, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, it's the Maker's Cask Strength. I mean, it's an easy sipping, I should say, it's an easy sipping cask strength, bourbon. So, I mean, it's crazy. So, what do we got here? The mullet has arrived. Yes, sir. HBR, my man. Yeah. So Tim says 4 all day. Like, I mean, I think just for what it is that they've got blended in 4, I think the only thing maybe some people don't like about 4 is maybe a little bit of the oak that's there. But again, I think I'll take the trade-off. It's not over oak by any means as far as I'm concerned, but the richness and complexity of those older aged bourbons that are in there, they did a fantastic job blending this thing. So I'm happier than hell with 4. And we'll be down there. Actually, Jason and I will be down there in 2 weeks. We've got a couple picks coming, and you can see in the bottom here, 2 of those are what we're going to be doing in a couple weeks. We got super lucky to have gotten in on the deal with Heaven Hill to be part of that. And I don't even know if he's said anything or not. He's not in here right now. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag in the event somebody else doesn't know, or you guys don't know, but we got super lucky to kind of get involved in that new 9-year. I think it's going to be a cask strength bourbon. So that will be a hot commodity. That's for sure. So we're really looking forward to getting in on that deal. So we're super excited about that. I don't think they're going to be doing a ton of those, but we're super excited. And again, those will all more than likely go to the Patreon community. I doubt most of the stuff we've got some good Woodinville stuff, but that 4-Gate is coming the end of this month. So, I mean, good. We're trying to bring you guys as much good stuff as we possibly can. So, all right, let me check the old chat here real quick, see what we've got. This will catch me up here. So, yeah, that's one thing of, okay, 4 is the OESK. We're trying, that's with one of the other things. So there was a pick that just got done of the Bullet. So, which is basically everybody knows that that's essentially Four Roses. So they've got it coded differently, but their yeast strains are all, a lot of that stuff that's going on. So, I mean, it's basically been confirmed that the bullet picks that we're doing, a couple 11-year barrels that they picked, supposedly a little bit different of each one of them. I wasn't able to get in on that one, but he got a few people involved in that. So again, that's another thing where we'll try to do some barrel picks and involve people as well. So, but yeah, so that was last week, I believe. They did the bullet. So there's 2 of those that will be coming. So we're also trying to keep it where we're spacing things out, where we're not just flooding the market with every single possible pick. We're not trying to do that at all. So we want to make sure that some good things and some relatively affordable stuff will be coming as well. We're not just going to do everything like 4-gate. We know that that's going to be a little bit pricey. We did work out one thing, so that will be there will be free shipping with the 4-gate stuff. So we kind of finagled some of the pricing and stuff there, so that will allow you guys to at least get the free shipping on the 4-gate barrels from what we were told. So. All right, what's Dan say? I like the Discovery series, but haven't loved one. Honestly, 3 and 4 are good, but honestly, don't think we've reached 4 since we opened it. Well, I mean, so for you guys, you got a pretty good benchmark. So I mean, you guys with all the old Carter, it's really tough to kind of get off of that profile, and that's understandable when you're kind of drinking that, to then kind of go back to the Discovery series, which may be a little closer in complexity. But again, the old Carter, in terms of what they're doing, that American whiskey that they've got is, I mean, some of them are so damn good. It's ridiculous. So, all right, here's another good one. Frey Ranch is those picks that people have been doing. That's one we're trying to get in on as well. It's become a little bit more limited, but for a bourbon coming out of Nevada like that, I mean, I was blown away just by, I think they're 90 or 100 proof, whatever that regular yellow label one is. I was amazed as to how good that bourbon was. So again, Frey Ranch is another one. I would seek it out. I would tell anybody to buy those. If you can find the cast strength one or barrel proof or whatever it may be, go ahead and buy it. I think you'll really be good. I've actually heard that their rye whiskey that they've got is supposed to even be the best of the bunch. So I haven't had it, but have heard some great things. So Big Sexy says, have you had the Boone County weeded single barrels? I can't stop drinking it. Going to be empty before I can press record. So no, that's one of the things. I've seen some of that stuff. We don't get any of that stuff around here really at all. And the only thing that I've really seen from Boone County or Boone or whatever it is just that standard release. I've never seen really anything else that's been outside of that for the most part. So, what do we got here? yeah. OFC pick. Yeah. That's coming soon. No, that would be incredible, but I think we all know that's not happening. But, what else we have? I think Tim said something before, Jeffrey, one of the two. Yeah, so Jeff, it's really, I mean, it's some really, really darn good stuff. That Frey Ranch, it surprised the heck out of me when I started drinking, and I couldn't even believe that it was as good as it really was. So, all right, what else do I have here? All right, so Troy says, yeah, you revisited the 3 and 4, falling apart. Yeah, so, all right, I'm trying to catch up, man. This thing is going like, it's like the Kentucky Derby of super chats here. So, yeah, I haven't had any of those. Like Tim said something about the Boone County. I haven't had really any of that stuff either. Some of those stuff we just don't get here. Fortunately, Bardstown Bourbon Company is kind of been here the last couple of months or so. So I'm glad to start getting some of that stuff. So, but yeah, this release, or the batch 4, the Discovery Series 4, I can't get enough of this stuff. Just the only thing I can think of that's a turnoff for people would probably be the oak part of it. But the oak, it does linger a little bit, but there's not a lot of there's a slight dryness to it, but there's not the over dryness that you can get from some of those, like, more aged bourbons. So what else we got here? All right. So what's everybody else sipping on right now? So RVA, my man, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, for the bourbon fund. I'm probably going to need it in a couple weeks. The wallet will be a little thin after making that visit to Kentucky in a couple weeks. So again, couple of really fun things we're looking forward to. And again, that one for, I don't know how we got. So the one at Heaven Hill, so the Elijah Craig, that 9-year single barrel proof, whatever it is that they're talking about, I was at the right place, right time. So I saw something pop up, sent something to Jason. He sent something to our contact that we've got at Shared Pour that that somehow I didn't know if that was a thing or not, because I saw it popped up in like 1 minute. So again, I sent something to Jason saying, hey, is this thing real? Whatever it may be. And I wasn't sure if it was just a joke, or this was, you see all these things from the TTB that are like, crazy posts or whatever. So I saw this thing pop up. So anyway, long story short, we were able to contact the person that we go through at Shared Pour, and they hooked us up. So we got, right place, right time. And I don't know how many they're doing or whatever it may be, but we're super excited for that one. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that will compare, to like an Elijah Craig barrel proof. So this one should just be like on the 9-year side. So we're super pumped to be doing it. To even get to an opportunity to do a barrel pick of something like that, we were pumped and we jumped at that immediately. So, all right, Brazer, sorry I missed your super chat before. You up for a sherry finished Woodinville and a Cuban cigar? Let's see. How do I answer that one? Yes and yes. Those would be absolutely fantastic. Now, speaking of sherry, I'll get into some of that stuff in a little while. Some of the sherry finished bourbons that I've been trying, and again, we might have a little something else that we're working on too that involves a sherry finished bourbon. And I'm loving what the profile of sherry can do, especially when it's not overdone. That's the biggest thing, is when some of these things get like overdone, like sherry can come across as so like, I don't know, there's almost this overdoneness, this buttery aspect to it. And it's almost just too much sometimes. But when it's done just right, and a sherry does not have to be, secondary aged in these barrels very long for it to influence the bourbon. That's my opinion. And just from what I've tried, some of the younger stuff, 30 days, maybe 45 days, you can get some really, really nice profiles on them. So, Roy, thank you so much. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye. Keep it coming, buddy. Man, I'll tell you what, that right there is going to be in the running for me for Whiskey of the Year. That Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye is a banger of a rye whiskey. It is so rich and complex and deep, and you just let that thing open up as you sip on it. It is an incredible rye whiskey. And for anybody who's getting that thing for around MSRP of $65, holy shit. That that is one hell of a deal. That thing punches way above its belt. So anybody who does have it, man, you're a lucky soul. And Young was nice enough to get one for me. So I've thanked him a million times. So all right, what do we have here? Thanks, brother. Man, I wish we could somehow work something out to get you some picks. The problem with sending anything to Canada is they go through everything. Getting anything into Canada for whatever reason is so difficult. The last couple times I did, now it was probably a year or so ago when I did, like right as everything was getting going with all the COVID stuff, I sent a couple things to Canada and they went through both of them, seized everything. Fortunately, I didn't get my ass in trouble. That was the main thing. I was scared that I was going to get in trouble, and nothing ultimately ended up happening. I did get something from them saying that basically it's illegal to ship without a license and all that. So they were nice enough that to not fine me or anything. So that kind of scared the hell out of me. But in terms of getting anything into Canada for whatever reason, it is so difficult because I'm just afraid that anybody who pays the money, from like me. So like, I mean, I guess if you got it from a distributor or something, they're willing to send it to Canada. I mean, I can't imagine how much that would cost, but it's almost not worth the try. I guess if ultimately somebody wanted to do it, we could try to do something, but man, I'd hate for somebody to just like lose out on lose their money just trying to get a bottle of bourbon. But I don't know. We'll try to do something. So, all right, what do we got here? All right, what's Brazier saying? Yeah, so Brazier, we did a Rebel and an Ezra pick, and I think we got, as far as I'm concerned, I think we got the two best barrels of both of them. We did it with Chad and Sarah of It's Bourbon Night. They chose a couple of different profiles, something that they wanted to go with a little bit different. We went with something that, again, I mean, when I do a lot of these picks, I'm always looking for rich and complex. That's one thing in my mind that I'm always constantly trying to search for, because that's the profile of something. If I can find something that's non-chill filtered, rich, has some complexity to it, some layers, that's always what I'm looking for. So I'm not always looking for something that's off profile. I just want something that if you're going to be sipping on it, you're going to be paying the money that you are for these. I want you to get something out of it. You meaning, or, me, I mean, us. I mean, Jason and I, we're collaborating on it. So I mean, fortunately, he and I have a very, very similar palate. So that helps us tremendously in terms of what it is that we're looking for you guys. So, all right, Popham, what do you got to say? Need a sweet cigar with a spicy cigar. What are your two picks, and can I find at a shop? Want to start pairing. Had my father's cigar, Madura, and it was fire. So right now I'm working on a pairing for cigarclub.com. I've got two of mine kind of nailed down. It's with the Kintsugi from Alec and Bradley. So hopefully I'll have that info to them so that they can be releasing that for their May box. So I kind of put a little pairing together with that cigar specifically. They just wanted one, but I gave them I'm going to be giving them a rye and a bourbon. And what I wanted to do was try to make whatever the rye and the bourbon were, somewhat affordable and something that that anybody could find. So that was my criteria. I didn't want to just hit them with a bunch of big fancy stuff that nobody's going to be able to find. I mean, anybody can do that. So I got to get that info to them in a couple days, and they'll be putting that info in their May box. So I'll have a little cigar and rye bourbon pairing stuff in that one. So, all right, Alex says, I would have to buy a case for triple the price to ship here. Yeah. So that's the problem also that I've heard is some of the shipping is just like outrageously expensive. So that's kind of a bummer. I mean, I suppose somebody can try to do something to kind of help out with some of those things, but man, it can really, really be tough. All right, let me finish this one. And This next pour, this will be for Brazier. This is going to be another one that's going to be for sure in my top whiskeys of 2021. It's a incredible bourbon. All right, what's Frank drinking? The Old 55. So, okay, I think Old 55 is maybe out of Indiana, I believe. I don't think it's like MGP. I think it's their own stuff, but Old 55 Bottle and Bond. Have you heard of? Checked Hoot and Young. Yeah, I saw something about this Hoot and Young the other day. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but I did see something on it the other day. Nice review on Breaking Bourbon. Thanks for the reviews. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. So I did see something about that the other day, and it was kind of interesting that, yeah, Hoot and Young is what it was. When I first came across it, I wasn't exactly sure. Their Instagram, Facebook page was very interesting. It was like very like modern and like almost like it's hard to like a lot of like leather. It was whatever it was. It was very. I was trying to figure out exactly what it was, but anyway, so. Ed, how's it going, man? Appreciate you jumping in here. Thanks for watching on the old Facebook. Yeah, definitely check Chris out. I mean, what he's doing with Big League Bourbon is a pretty cool thing, where he's talking bourbon and talking with present and future or past big league ball players. So it's a really cool concept, and two things that I absolutely love: baseball and bourbon, whiskey specifically. All right, Brazier, what do you got here? All right, there you go. There's your excuse. Go crack that Kelvin Collaboration 3. So for all of you guys, most of you all know, like I'm a huge fan of what it is that Foregate does. Everything that they've got going on, the passion that they have behind the brand, and just the quality. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be able to talk with and meet with a lot of the guys. I mean, specifically Bob and Bill with Foregate, and two great guys, and their passion, and in addition to that, just their unwillingness to compromise or settle. They are 100% about quality, and that is one of the things that I really, really appreciate. Something that they do. I mean, they put a lot of time and effort into everything that's done, from the labels to, I mean, really everything. So, I mean, I'm a huge fan of what Foregate does. And, and that's why Jason and I were super excited to have the opportunity to work with them. I mean, to get an 8-year MGP rye that we're going to finish in a toasted barrel for, I think, 32 days or something. I mean, it turned out great. So again, those will be available to patrons the end of May. So, all right, Brazier, let me know. I think he's had it. I don't know if he had 12 or not yet. So anybody else had the Kelvin Collaboration 3? And if so, what were your thoughts? So. Just trying to read. Yeah, so this 123.7 proof. Yeah, so it's and Brazier, it's going to get it'll get even better as this thing opens up on you. It's an incredible whiskey. Now, again, this has a little bit of a sherry, PX sherry influence. Jason and I are potentially working on something else that's got a sherry finish to it that involves kind of some MGP as well. So we don't know yet. We did get some samples. This is partially one of them, so I don't know if anybody can even read what it is. But so anyway, if you can read it, great. If you can't, it'll be a mystery to you still. But yeah, I'm really, really kind of digging what it is that influence that sherry is putting on some of these bourbons, especially when they're not overdone. So. All right, my main man, DC, and it's a good dude right here. I mean, I love the fact that he's so involved with the community and has all the fun that he does and the things he sends to us and everything. It's great. So, DC, thanks for everything you do and keeping everything light. I appreciate it. So he says, in the brightest day and the darkest night, a hawk will always be there to save you from ham and your blind flight. That is true. I will do my best to keep the ham influence out of your whiskey, period. So that's funny. What else do we have here? Adriana, no, I don't think so. I'm gonna try to prevent that now. If I drink as much as I did last Wednesday, there is still a chance that could happen, but I'm gonna do my best to prevent that from from happening. So, and cheers to you, Whiskey Nose. Appreciate you jumping in. All right, what do we have? Christopher. So Christopher was one of the lucky ones a couple weeks ago. We did a 4-gate tasting. That's another thing. So as part of the Patreon community, we're going to try to do these special tastings. We're actually working. So two more. I'll kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit here. So 2 more that we're working on getting set up. We're not sure when. Hopefully soon. One of them will be with Bardstown Bourbon Company. We'll have them put some stuff together. So we'll set up that kind of virtual tasting again. And then we're working on with Mark and Sherry Carter. So we're going to try to put together an Old Carter tasting as well. So these are just some of the things that we're trying to do to bring you guys something different, unique. Maybe everybody doesn't have an opportunity to try some of these whiskeys, and that's what we want to do. Anybody who wants to be part of that, we'll offer it up in the Patreon community. If we have more people than slots, we'll run through a randomizer to kind of make it as fair as possible. So, all right, Christopher says 4-gate batch 12 is fantastic. Got a sample and had to buy a bottle. Yeah, it's incredible. And I think, Chris, I can get you some stuff. I think now I remember you said you hadn't even had anything from them. I mean, I've got enough stuff that I can send you for sure. So I'll get some put together and sent off to you for the 4-gate stuff. I mean, it is, I don't know. I mean, for what it is they're doing, it's absolutely incredible. So, all right. Cam says he loves the 4-gate batch 12 as well. And it's just a really, really solid finished bourbon. So yeah. So Brazier, man, it's going to get even better for you, buddy. I'm telling you, as that thing sits open a little bit, it's crazy. It's just hard to describe some bourbons. I was just talking to Jason the other day about this, is that trying to convey complexity and all of that stuff in a video can really be difficult when you're sipping on something that is relatively special, and to try to convey that to people, you do your best, but man, it's when we say something special, then I would like to think that, I mean, I try not to use those words very often unless it's something that I feel is exactly that and is worth the money. And again, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can just be an absolutely great whiskey. So I know somebody had mentioned before, Frey Ranch, again, those cast strength ones that they do, coming out of Nevada, holy moly, they are really good. I mean, they will compete with the big boys out of Kentucky and MGP. I'll tell you that. So, all right, I got to catch back up. I'm so far behind in this darn chat here. So if I miss anything, I apologize. What's Young say? So Young was part of the tasting as well. Thanks again for doing the 4-gate tasting with Bob and Bill. By the way, it was a first time for me. So that's one of the things we want to try to do is expose some of these brands to people, even though they may have heard the name. A lot of times everyone doesn't get a chance to try all of these. So again, that's just part of what we're trying to do for the Patreon community, is get people involved and share different experiences and all of that. So yeah, we're working on a couple of things actually with Bardstown, and that actually one involves a virtual tasting and another involves an actual in-person whiskey and food event at the distillery. So that could potentially be something that ends up happening kind of later fall for us. So Bardstown Fusion number 2 was awesome. For 30 strong, maybe honey. So the Fusion for me has been one of those things where it's been a little bit hit or miss. I think it's good for what it is. Pretty solid price point. I think right in that $60-$65 price range. So I don't have a real major issue with that. I know they're trying to blend some of their own, distillate with some other stuff, but I think they've done a pretty good job with that one, I think, so far. So yeah, DC, I guess it depends on which one you're talking about. I mean, I guess I would say it's average. It's maybe a little bit pricey for what it is that you're getting. I know they did a single barrel that I think was fairly expensive, but overall, average. And again, I think if you know what it is, you'll kind of, yeah, you'll kind of get an idea. So the Moose Whisperer. Yeah, so he is lying. I have no Moose Whisperer Facebook page, but could be coming soon. So what do we got here? Yeah, so that's kind of been the only issue. I know, Joseph, that with the Fusion, they're blending some of their stuff, and it is going to be some of their younger stuff. They don't have a ton of anything with a lot of age or anything on it yet. So that is going to be a little bit of a tendency to have kind of that young profile. So so who knows how that'll eventually be. And I'm sure as their juice ages a little bit, it'll get a little bit better. So there we go. Speaking of the devil, the man himself. How's it going, Jace? So let's see, what else do we have here? Sorry, I'm a little bit far behind on this. I'm trying to catch back up as quickly as I can. So, all right, Cam says, when I went to Louisville to get the 4-gate batch 12, I also found a 4-gate batch. Dude, that is so good. Like, you got lucky. I think I saw you post that or did something, but that was crazy. I mean, for me, it's one of my still all-time favorite whiskeys, period. I mean, what they did with that batch 1, that Kelvin collaboration 1, was incredible. And I think just about everybody that I know who's had a chance to try it or has it, they kind of convey the same thing. So, let's see. Yeah, so we already tried it. We tried it last time when we were in Kentucky, when we were in the lobby. I think it was the 4 of us down there. I liked it. The maltiness of it is different. It has gotten a little bit better, I would say, now that it's kind of had a chance to open up. But I think that like that caramel malt or whatever it was kind of really had a nice sweetness. I'm a fan, I would say, of what it is that Chattanooga is doing. I'm looking forward to a lot of the different things. I know that tequila finished one seemed to be a pretty popular one from what I've heard. So Thomas, don't tell. I haven't been letting too much stuff out. Everything that I say, I think he already probably knows in terms of what, with the Elijah Craig, and we've got some of the, what's the other one we've got coming up that we're doing? Wilderness Trail. So that's some good stuff. I'm trying to build the excitement here for you guys. I mean, I want you guys to understand. I mean, he and I, when we talked about doing all of this, it was because we wanted to get you guys involved and share something that he and I could do with you guys and get excited about all of this. So that's really ultimately why we decided to do it, was just because of that. We wanted to be able to share this stuff with you guys. So, all right, I'm going to quit talking here and try a little bit more of the Kelvin Collaboration 3. Oh man, that sherry influence on this is it's just perfect. I think this one was maybe 42 days or something, not very long, but it's absolutely amazing. Oh, awesome. Let me know. What do you guys think? Let's see. Tequila finished this past Sunday. All right. It has potential. So sometimes these different finishings, like especially with tequila, maybe it does. Yeah. Maybe it needs to breathe a little bit. Give it a chance. But it's always fun to see, like right off the neck pour, how something is going to, kind of be. And then you hope that it kind of opens up a little bit more for you. So hopefully it does do that for you guys. So, what else we got here? Oh, you think, all right, so give it some time. I mean, maybe that's what you have now. The sherry influence will come out, and maybe the longer that you've got this in your glass, even right now, depending on how much you poured, that influence will start to come out. Sometimes, I mean, the rum can be a little bit dominant, and I would agree, but that sherry influence, you'll see, I think as that bottle opens up a little bit and or you continue to sip on this, you'll start to really pull out or see some of that sherry influence that's there. Just kind of wait. I think even when I did my review, I said, do not rush this thing. Give it time to open up. Try some, just let it do its thing. So you'll be rewarded when you kind of just give that whiskey a little bit of time. So once I'm done with this, I think I'll go back with the Chattanooga 111. So, and I'm really kind of pumped to. I'm really hoping that they decide to kind of get into Wisconsin. I mean, I'm sure that their distribution can be a little bit difficult, but it's the way it is. So, if Newski's is the smoked meats, when the go-to cheese in Wisconsin, Newski's is incredible. So I mean, hey, that's that. If you want some really good meats and cheeses like Young is, if you're ever in Wisconsin, you let me know. So that's some incredible stuff. Oh, if Newski's is a smoke, what's the go-to in Wisconsin? Oh, I don't know. Probably like a Kobe Jack or something. It's a pretty kind of standard one here for everyone. Usually if they're grilling for burgers and stuff like that, a lot of cheddars and stuff here too. But I know people say all the cheese stuff. We don't just eat cheese all the time. It's not really like that at all. A lot of really good beer, but yeah, we're not like going crazy over cheese. That's for sure. So, all right. Cheech says, I found a Chattanooga and in general has had some time. Same on the rye and that 111 a couple of weeks later, and they hit their stride. Yeah. So this is the thing with some of these barrel proof or higher proofed whiskeys. You just have to give these things a try. Too often people want to, do reviews or judge a whiskey right when they open the thing up. And it's just a lot of times not fair to the whiskey. You just have to give these things a little chance to breathe and just not rush them at all. So yes, that's a good one. Cheech, that's a good one. Meats and Cheeches. Yeah, that's a good one. That's really good. That'd be a good, that might be a good shirt for you there. Meats and Cheeches. That's a good one right there. All right, Cam, what is this? So Bardstown Bourbon Company isn't putting anything as a standalone with their stocks reaching 6 years old. So yeah, I mean, I think part of that, like fusion, they're blending stuff right now. I don't think they've got anything right now on their own, just that. But, we'll see. I mean, as their stuff ages, we'll see. They've got some great people behind that brand. And it's, I would be very surprised if their stuff does not become something that people want to ultimately seek out. So you got it. Best bacon out there. That's for sure. Newski's. If you can find it, buy it. Oh, Roy, you're in for some goodness right there. Great butter burgers. That's for sure. So I try to, over the past year, I've kind of cut back on a lot of that stuff. Once in a while, I'll have some of those things. I had to drop a few pounds and get my ass back into shape. So that's what I've kind of been working on a little bit. So, All right. So where does Foregate source their bourbon from? It's not on the label. So they don't necessarily have to disclose where it's coming from. They have to disclose probably the state, but what do we have here? So I think they even say right on the front of it. Maybe they don't. Oh yeah, I thought maybe with it being a blend or something. Maybe that's a reason that they don't have to disclose where the stuff's coming from. But I believe some of their stuff they've done sourcing from a lot of. I know the rye obviously comes from MGP. That's all. Obviously MGP. I know they've done some Barton that they've done. Where else? I know some MGP bourbon as well. They've got some really good releases, some new stuff coming. What else they have? I don't think they've done really anything with Beam at all. I don't believe. A lot of Barton stuff, maybe some Heaven Hill before, but a lot of MGP things along those lines. Barton, which is pretty typical. So yeah, that could be a good one. Meat and Sweats. That's what everyone needs. All right, let me get back to where we are at. Yeah, I think the bourbon is Barton. Is mostly Barton from them. And I mean, they're getting aged stuff. So I mean, these are aged bourbons that they're getting and then doing some finishing. So this is where some of the different stuff with what it is that Foregate does is a little bit of a twist just on them securing good whiskey. I mean, when they're getting these things, they fortunately have the opportunity to try a lot of this stuff, but they know exactly what it is that they want. So, but yeah, it's I mean, they know. I mean, they know that we know all of these things for the most part. So, but yeah, they're trying to get the best possible stocks. I mean, as is anyone. I mean, everyone wants to get the best of whatever it is that they can get. But yeah, so yeah, Joseph, it is basically that. Now they've got some other good things coming that will I don't know. I'll say this. They've got some really cool things coming that I think you guys will be probably super excited about without getting into much of it. 'Cause I know a lot of it they haven't even released. Won't be in the morning, but I'll be hitting something tomorrow at for sure. I'm not a morning workout guy. I'm more of a mid-afternoon workout person, but that's just me. I don't know how the hell anybody can get super motivated to work out in the morning. I know a lot of it has to do with people's jobs and all of that, but that's not me. What else do we have here? So yeah, going back, I guess if you guys want to get in on what it is that Jason and I've got going, get in on that Patreon. It's a good deal in terms of what it is we've got coming for you guys. So I can't say thanks enough to everybody who is and has recently become a patron. Thank you so much for all the support and being part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So appreciate it. What else do we have here? No, not a Peloton guy. I've got a Nordic Track bike in the basement. I don't know. I guess I don't get. I've been on a Peloton. I don't like all the manual shit that you have to do with it. Like I can get on that Nordic Track and it adjusts things automatically in terms of incline, decline, the resistance, all of that. I don't know, whatever. I think Peloton is just one of those things where they were right place, right time, and they got everybody hook, line, and sinker. But anyway, this isn't a workout show. So, all right, going back to the old Foregate. Let me get rid of this. I have a little bit of the Chattanooga, and maybe Jason should be getting his samples soon. I don't know if he got them yet. I think maybe they were shipping them out today, but these were actually samples that were sent to us. This is This is one that's finished in a sherry barrel. This has actually got a little bit of time on this one. Well, not that much, but so this will all be basically MGP finished in a sherry barrel. This will not be the one that we have access to. They sent me these actually by mistake, so it was a little bonus for me. So Alex, you are the man. I appreciate that very much. So hopefully it won't cost $1 million to get that stuff shipped up to you. But I know Chris is a good dude. He does all the merch and stuff for us with those things. But I hope you appreciate it. And I don't know. I mean, you and I, we probably need to chat somehow, figure something out, and I don't know. Try to do something to get you a bottle or two of what it is that we've got going on. So, all right, what's Wade's story? Yeah. So you're Joseph Magnus. You will not be disappointed with those. So that's for sure. I like the Magnus stuff. Is cigar blends even better, but, that's good. I'm pretty sure those will not be coming. So you're going to have to find the mesh tank somewhere else, bud. No, Griff, you missed nothing. No need to even stick around. It's just boring talk and stuff right now. So I was mentioning before that we got the old the cigarclub.com stuff coming here pretty soon in terms of the pairing with the Kintsugi. So I should be getting that information over to you guys. Maybe tomorrow. I've got one more cigar that I want to sit down with a whiskey or two and see how this does. But I've got a couple dialed in pretty good right now. So $10 to ship to Canada. Oh boy, he's probably going to lose money on you. I don't know how the hell anyone's going to send anything to you for $10. All right, what's Young say? Sorry if I already answered this one, but what were the first bourbon or rye that got you hooked? So kind of a funny story. Like my first thing that kind of got me hooked, honestly, was just straight up Woodford Reserve. My dad was having it somewhere at a bar, and I didn't really even know much about it. This is going back several years ago, but and I really had no experience with much whiskey or bourbon, period. And I tried it, and there was something that just about it was something so different and unique that I really enjoyed it. And then at that moment, it was one of those deals where I just kind of went down the rabbit hole with wanting to buy everything and learn more and all of that. And it kind of just, well, here we are now. And this is probably, boy, I bet that was a good, man, at least probably eight-ish years ago, something along those lines. And yeah, so I was super excited. I'm glad that I kind of went down that rabbit hole. And the community is incredible. I've met some awesome people in this whole deal, and to be able to have the opportunity to do these kind of things with you guys and meet people and talk about whiskey and all of that. I mean, I loved the history part of it. That was another thing. Once I started diving into all of that, I really enjoyed all the history and how the stuff was made, how long it sat places, all of those things. And it still kind of continues to kind of push the envelope a little bit in terms of what it is and why I like to do all those things. So, all right, what do we got here? What's up, Todd? How's it going, buddy? Glad you could join. So, all right, let me, I hate to kind of speed up the foregate, but I want to get into some of the Chattanooga, that 111. It was really nice from what I remember. I haven't had it in a little while, but from what I remember, it was really, really fantastic. Oh, geez, yeah, you're still pretty far. So I mean, I'm down in southeastern part of Wisconsin, so I'm down by Milwaukee. So I'm not that far from Illinois for the most part. So you are you're a ways from me, that's for sure. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of been one of those things where that you kind of dive into this stuff and you just start to explore really everything that there is about it and how it's made, why. I mean, all of those different things that all of us kind of, maybe understand a little bit now or a little bit more of. But man, it's just, I dove into this stuff pretty hard. And when I first got into just the YouTube stuff, which was kind of late 2016, there weren't that many people doing really anything at all. And when I first started, honestly, this whole thing was going to be just a video diary for me to do, kind of just to log things that I've had and tried. I had no idea what the hell YouTube hardly even was, to be honest, from a whiskey standpoint. I knew what it was for other things, but I mean, how YouTube has kind of exploded, and especially the whiskey world the last few years, or even couple years, I should say, it's gone absolutely, nuts. And there's some great people in this community, and that's awesome. To each their own, do what you do. And it's the best part of it. The community and you guys are incredible people. So, we're not worthy. Yes. My man, Todd Ritter, how's it going, buddy? What else we got here? What do you mean? What's other things? So, all right, I don't know. I probably missed it. So I don't know. I was loosely paying attention there. I'm trying to read all these damn things quickly. It's hard to keep up sometimes, but all right, let me pour some of this and then we'll kind of wrap her up. We're already an hour and 5 minutes in. So I appreciate everybody for joining tonight. Thank you so much. And again, I'll beat the drum because I'm going to be passionate about what Jason and I've got going. So if you guys want to be part of everything that he and I've got going on, get over to Patreon, link in the description below, get in on that. And hopefully you guys will get some of these picks. So, yeah, I mean, the YouTube stuff, I mean, nowadays, I think a lot of people just go to this stuff by default. I think there's less people reading articles and all of that. They just go right to YouTube, find whatever you want, find a review, find some information, and you can get it. You don't have to do all the reading and everything. You can just, there's so much information and stuff out there, and a lot of people doing different reviews. And that's the thing. From everyone who does the reviews, you find someone who's got a similar palate to you, and that's who you kind of stick with. So that's just the way it is. That's the way it should be. So, oh man, the Knob Creek. So this is a pick that my buddy Brian Anderson, who does all of our merch and stuff, he lives pretty close to me, and he runs his own kind of embroidery company. Obviously, he does all the merch and stuff, but he got one of these. This is just shy of, and I think I'm going to get a couple more of these to do as giveaways on the channel. These are some of the older ones that were kind of still sticking around a little bit. Everything now, all the new stuff is all like 9 years. These were just shy of 12. So this is still a little bit of the older stuff. And there's a few that are floating around kind of this area. And for whatever reason, I don't know how they're still around, but they're not all the 14 and 15s. Those kind of came and went pretty quickly. Then the next wave of some of that kind of, 10 to 12, maybe upwards of 13 started popping up, and these kind of fall in that category. And now everything is, if there's one now, it's like I saw one the other day that was like under 9 years. That was the first time I had seen one that was under 9 years for a Knob Creek single barrel. So these are closer to 12. So I'll probably get a couple of these and do some giveaways and stuff coming up here pretty soon. So, yeah, the Chattanooga, I'm really looking forward to getting back into that one again. So, Alex, you're killing me here. No banana hammock stuff coming either, bud. It's none of that stuff. That's for sure. So, um, yeah. So that's the one thing that made us doing this something that was a little bit of an easier transition was the fact that he and I've got very similar palettes in terms of what it is we like and why and what we kind of lean towards. So that kind of worked out perfect. So when we go to do these picks, there's not a lot of debate. I mean, of course, there's going to be some because there's going to be some differences, at times, but it makes it nice to be able to go in and know that we're looking for basically the same type of thing. And we always talk before we go in terms of, hey, what is it that we're going to kind of be looking for here? And my default, again, like I said before, is richness, complexity, mouthfeel, all of those. You can get some different profiles, which I'm fine with, but when you still have the richness and the complexity of something, nice long finish, those are the things that I really look for in a whiskey. So I want to make it as I guess good or as memorable as possible of a whiskey. I don't want it to be thin and nothing there. There's no point in any of that. So, all right, Todd. Yeah, I don't think so. There's no celebrity here. That's for sure. So, but I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting with a lot of people at some point. I know with all the COVID stuff now starting to kind of loosen, much more than it had been. It'll be nice to get back out and start to put things together to, meet with people. And in my area, if there's anyone relatively close, I think this summer I'll at least do one, maybe two. I'll try to do like a meetup, whether it's at my place. I've got enough room out back where we can get together and have a good time, or we, do something at a designated location or something like that. But to get people that are, in the area or want to come to a meetup, the more the merrier. I'm looking forward to finally getting back to meeting with people, having some nice meetups, shoot the shit a little bit, drink some good whiskeys, all of that. So if you're close to the Milwaukee-ish area and you're interested, send me an email at mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com. Let me know. Then that way I can at least add you to a list so that when I start to send stuff out this summer, you can be included on that list if you want to be part of a meetup. So no train stuff. No, we're not train enthusiasts. So I don't have anything to do with the train. That's all Jason's stuff. So no. So the only reason, so yeah, we didn't. So with the Woodinville pick, so again, I was leaning towards something again that I was trying to find that fit what it was that I wanted. And you'll see that they are a little bit different. He wanted something that was slightly different. Both were great. And I think by themselves, I wouldn't have had a problem with honestly either one of them, but it was one of those deals where like at the last minute, we were told we could have another barrel, made our decision, much easier. And some of our picks, we kind of go with the Top Gun theme. So we'll be doing some of that, but yeah, for the most part, we're pretty in line with a lot of the things that are, that we're, kind of tasting and really wanting to bring to you guys. I mean, not to say that everything is going to be identical or we're going to agree on everything. It's just a matter of trying to ultimately break things down to get each other's point as to what it is that he's tasting, what it is that I am, and kind of get to that conclusion of, why we're getting to where we are. So, yeah, that one will be cool. They're different. So Wade, those two, the Woodinville ones, they are different. So there will be no bones about it. Both very good, different. And I think we both really enjoyed both. But they were a little bit different. So, what do we got here? Yeah. So Foregate does not come here. They're either on Seal Box or Bourbon Outfitter, I believe, is another one where you can find it. They do all the shipping, but yeah, there's nothing here in our area for Foregate at all. So I've got to source mine the same as anybody else. So Bernardo, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, it is. So Joe said it's kind of hard to find everywhere. So I mean, a lot of these things like Old Carter, I think now that they've kind of gotten on Seal Box, I mean, it's going to make the only way to get some of this stuff nowadays is to just buy it online and have it sent to you. You're going to pay a little bit of a premium, but if you want it bad enough, then that's what you're just going to have to do. So, Man, the maltiness, that caramel malt that they use in this 111 is really nice. There's some nice sweet, really nice sweetness to it. There's almost this, I mean, I hate to say it, but there's almost this sweet tea aspect that it's got on it, that some of that caramel malt does something. It kind of gives a little bit of that, like a sweet tea aspect. So RVA Whiskey, cheers, bud. Thanks for joining tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, so the Luxro stuff, we were pretty on point. I mean, when we started tasting these things, it was a pretty easy decision as to what it was that we wanted for those. I mean, I think going into that, the Ezra and the Rebel, we didn't think we were going to be able to get those at the proofs that we were. And ultimately what we got to taste at barrel proof and then slightly proof it down, we didn't have to move much because we're getting both picks at 120 proof, and everything we were tasting was right around there, maybe a proof or two higher. But other than that, almost no water will have to be added to those. So we were really confident that the profile was ultimately going to remain the same. And we were able to add just a touch of water to see what it did, and never took away any of the complexity of either one of them. So we were really happy with that. So no, I don't think our next pick's not going to be called Moose Knuckle. That's for sure. What else do we have here? Moonshine's 180 proof. Yeesh. Yeah, JG, man, if you want, you're in. Anybody who wants to be part of the meetup this summer, I'm hoping to maybe do it around my birthday, which is the end of July. And I don't know, maybe we could even get Mash and Drum up here with his significant other around that time and have a nice little party or something. So we'll see. We'll have to talk about that a little bit. What do we have here? Man, all I know is this Chattanooga is really nice. That caramel malt in this really has a nice influence on it. No, Dave, sweet tea does not suck. That's for sure. Yeah, there's definitely some of that sweet tea aspect to this thing. That maltiness is definitely there as well. That caramel malt really kind of shines. Little bit of oak on that as well. Some nice vanilla, some really nice caramel, obviously, with that caramel malt that they do. Lingering spice slightly on this one. I'll be doing an official review of this one coming up pretty soon, but that's a nice one. If people can get their hands on that, I think people will really be happy with that. If you like something on the sweeter side, I would say, then you'll probably like that. Not a super long finish on it, but still sweet. Little bit of spice that's there. Wish the finish was a little longer on it. That's the one thing that's kind of a bummer to me on this one. But overall, I think it's a really nice and a really good price price. I want to say that maybe I paid $40 or something. I don't know. You guys can tell me if I'm way off or not, but I think that was right around $40 or something. All right, Richie, your next pick should be called Maverick and Iceman. So we have, let's see, what do we have? We've got the Woodinville one. I don't know if we were able to do it or not with that. I forget if we were able to do it, but we do. That was going to be the Woodinville stuff was going to be the Maverick and Iceman pick. So those were going to be the two head to head, but I don't know if we get to have both names on each bottle because it's going to be, we're doing it with another like liquor store. So I don't know if we can have it that way or not. So I kind of forget, Richie. So sorry. Mike, there you go. Shoot me an email. Get on the list. mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com. Wade, only 15 hours, bud. Well worth the drive. Get going. All right. So, okay. Yeah. $40. So that's what I kind of thought. I got this one when I was in Kentucky, a little while back. And yeah, I mean, $45 I think is plenty fair for this. I mean, I think it's kind of a everyday-ish kind of bourbon. It's different. High malt on this one, I believe, is what it was. They're very transparent, I believe, as far as what they do. Yeah, they list everything on here, so which is cool. So yeah, I mean, age greater than 2 years, so probably slightly over 2 years. Batch size, which is nice, small, only 6 to 10 barrels. That's really nice. All right, so toasted and charred oak barrels, so that's really nice. Yeah, so really good stuff. I think that they've got coming out of Chattanooga. I mean, they've really kind of hit their stride recently. A lot of they've kind of really kind of stepped it up. I would say really kind of shine some light on their distillery and what it is that they've got going on, and kudos to them. I mean, that's awesome that some of these smaller companies like this can really do some of the things they are. I mean, a lot of these kind of craft distillers are really starting to push the envelope and put out some really nice stuff for the most part. So, all right, Alex, what do you got to say this time? You could do the movie Hot Shots, toppers. You're too much. Oh, geez, that's good. What else we have here? Yep, I would agree, Ralph. Money well worth spent. Yeah, the malt. So here's one. I mean, when they talk about like this maltiness, I mean, when they malt these grains, especially with like a malted rye, it can do some, like, I mean, the profile of some of these things with them malted can really, really be nice. So, you know, if you kind of understand a little bit about, you know, the difference there of what it is that they do with some of these different grains, I mean, it can really impart some really interesting and really nice flavors, make a really good, really nice whiskey. So, all right, I see something about Pewaukee. I'm not far from Pewaukee, so I don't know. Did I miss something about Pewaukee? Does someone live in Pewaukee? If so, you are right around the corner from me. That's very close to me. So Chris is not far from me. He's just down in Illinois, so he's close. Brazier, thanks for jumping in tonight. Appreciate it, buddy. The wife is home. Cheers, bud. No, Bert. It's not. It doesn't smell like pee, trust me. It may have in the past, but they've cleaned up Milwaukee a lot. Milwaukee's become a pretty nice city for the most part. I mean, every area's got a bad area or two, but overall they've done a pretty good job with it. So yeah, so whatever they're doing, I mean, part of that malting process when they're just doing a lot of these, I mean, it can really change the profile of a whiskey quite a bit. Like if it's just a straight rye, you know, versus like a malted rye or whatever it may be, the profile can be completely different, offers usually like a malted rye or anything that's malted like that. It starts to give you much more of a creamier mouthfeel, a little bit more, a little thicker and all of that. So that's kind of nice with that. Hey, Sean, how's it going, buddy? Appreciate you jumping in. So anyway, that's about all I've got. So if, again, anybody wants to get in on any of the picks that Jason and I have got coming, consider joining Patreon and becoming part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. We greatly appreciate everyone's support, and we look forward to kind of sharing some of these. When the Rye 3, anybody who did get in on the Rye 3, as soon as that thing drops and people start getting them, we will do a live stream to crack open bottles, share things, see what people think. Hopefully everybody likes it as much as we did, and do all these. That's kind of the plan, is that as we get these bottles, we want to share them with you guys. We want to try, drinking them with you guys, doing all these things. And, that's just part of the deal. I mean, we're doing it for you guys, and we want to be part of all of that. So it's pretty good. So Dave, my slot is this coming Friday. The only issue I've got potentially, which I completely forgot all about, is I'm getting my second vaccine on Thursday. And I know some people have had some issues not feeling the best. So hopefully I'll be okay. But if I feel okay, I'll be doing mine on Matt's channel on Friday night. So, man, it'd be nice to meet up with a lot of people. So, I mean, this is one of the things I'm looking forward to finally being able to do, is get back out and meet up with other people and have drinks, all of these things. So that's would be awesome. So yeah, you're a long drive. That's for sure. But, yeah, that's a pretty good haul. So my wife's from Ontario as well. So we know all about that drive. Not recently, but I know all about that. So, all right. So anything else here? So I think that's it. So I just wanted to kind of, this was kind of a fun thing. I think next week, next Tuesday, maybe I'll try to get Jason on before we head off to Kentucky to do a couple more picks down there. We'll kind of talk about what we've got going on, a few of those things, just kind of have a good time before we do that. We will still do something, or he'll do his live stream on Wednesday night. We'll be down there as well. So maybe we'll figure out a little something special while we're there. But yeah, so that's kind of it. So, but I think we'll try to do something Tuesday night, probably Wednesday as well. But yeah, Tuesday will be kind of a little bit more of it'll probably be more, little bit more of a kind of, hey, this is what we've got going on. Things, hopefully people start getting their darn Rye 3 bottles here pretty soon. So have a good night, JG. Appreciate it, bud. The old Opus X, great cigar, but man, tough ones to find. That's for sure, Sean. So yeah, so next Tuesday, again, we'll do a little kind of a pregame for us leaving to go to Kentucky, share a little bit about more of what we've got going on, things coming, all of that. So there we have it. So again, anybody wants to become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, hit the old link in the description below to that, be part of that. We're super excited to be bringing all of these fun things to you guys. Great bottles, all of that. We're trying to bring you the best we possibly can. So what else we got going on? I think that's basically it. So other than that, I appreciate everybody joining tonight, sitting in here for an hour and a half, having a couple whiskeys, shooting the shit a little bit. It's what I like to do. And hopefully again, we'll be able to do some meetup stuff this summer. Again, send me an email if you want to be part of the meetup and stuff this summer. My Bourbon Journey 01@gmail.com. So I'd love to get together with you guys. If you're willing to come, I'm willing to have you. So appreciate everybody joining tonight. And we will see everybody next Tuesday with a little pregame of what we've got going on for the barrel picks coming next week. So cheers, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out with me. And remember, it's about the journey, not the destination, baby. Cheers, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.